To the headlines now, and a major development in the Delphi murders case. Richard Allen's defense team is laying out the specific reasons why they are appealing his conviction.
So a jury found Allen guilty a little more than a year ago of killing teenagers Abby Williams and Libby German back in 2017. And this case has captured attention around the world. He is now serving a 130-year sentence.
Rich Nye has been pouring through the appeal brief that just came through today. And Rich, there is a lot to read there.
113 pages in that appeal brief, and the argument in this court filing centers on 3 points that ask his murder convictions to be overturned. The appeals attorneys argue that the search of Allen's home was unconstitutional and the evidence that was seized should have been thrown out. They say that Richard Allen spent 13 months in solitary confinement at a state prison before his trial, which amounted to psychological coercion for the many confessions he made behind bars. And they argued that the court excluded lots of evidence the defense wanted to present, especially regarding other suspects and alternative theories on the murders. One interesting point is that the appeal brings up that the jury never saw the original sketch of the suspect. That man was described as white, age 20, of medium build, and having brown curly hair. Allen's attorneys say that looks nothing like Richard Allen. We asked defense attorney Brad Banks to review this new appeal brief.
It'll be interesting to see if the Court of Appeals says some of these things the defense wanted to do, they should have been able to do. But then the next question becomes, is that enough to reverse? Or is that going to be what they will categorize as harmless error, where there's enough other evidence that, yeah, there were mistakes made. This is a long trial. Of course, there were some mistakes made, but there's not enough to send it back and say they have to do it over again.
Richard Allen was sentenced a year ago to 130 years in prison for the February 2017 murders of Abby Williams and Libby German near the Monon High Bridge in Delphi. And Allen is now serving that sentence at a prison in Oklahoma.
So what happens next in the appeals process?
So the Attorney General's office will represent the state. They will file a reply, and then the attorneys for Richard Allen could file another reply. Now, what's interesting is the Court of Appeals could ask for oral arguments in this case before they make their ruling on whether they would accept or grant the appeal in this case. There's much more I want to dig into in this appeal brief. Tonight at 5, the argument that Richard Allen was not in his right mind when he made all those confessions from prison, and the bizarre things that he was saying that the jury never heard.
All right, we'll look forward to that deeper dive coming up at 5 and 6, Rich. Thanks.